loading. Now, so we left off. Let me close the door here. Okay. So now, by now, all these things should be getting clear up here. So you should be able to write a simple script that do a little task for you. Okay. So let me see here. Why is it? Okay, so it did a ping test last time, and ping apple.com, CNN, Google. Okay. All right, so it's working. So next thing we're gonna work off is if statement. So there is a built-in concept here called if statement. If this thing is true, then it will run it. If it's not true, then it won't run it. So it's called a Boolean transaction. So let's take a look here what I'm talking about. Okay, so what we're gonna do is let me copy this. Okay. So I'm gonna copy ls, and what you have here is let's copy template to if statement, if hyphen statement dot sh. Okay, so okay, let's go into vi if statement dot sh. So this is a if statement. If statement. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is how is the if statement works is let's take an input. We'll take an input here. We take an input at the command prompt. What do? You type read. When you type read, what it's gonna do is it will execute read, and it's waiting for your we already talked about read command, right? Read, and if I hit enter, it says something. We're gonna give the prompt 15. Okay, and then we'll say echo $. So if we didn't give it a variable, we can't pull it off. So what you have to do is read num1, and we're gonna give a number 15, And to read that num1, the number was so you type echo dollar num1 and it will bring that back to you. Okay, so let's put that into the if statement and read type num1. Okay, and we'll see okay, before that we'll see echo enter a number between 1 and 5, and we'll give a space here, echo, and then we'll see, we'll just give it a highlight like this. Okay, and then we'll give another line, blank line. We'll see read num1. Okay, now we're gonna open the if statement. It's gonna validate if statement. So we'll type if, and then we open the square brackets, and we'll give the argument dollar num1 equals between num and 5. So I think I already talked about this, right? Let's see here. Yeah, go ahead. Expression. Oh, okay, yeah. This is what I was getting at. It's called Boolean arithmetic operators. Okay. So equal, not equal, and all this. These are the Boolean operators. That means it will validate if it's true or not. Okay. So what we're gonna do is enter a number between 1 and 5 if num1 is greater than, what I'm gonna do is 6. Or let's do this here. If num1 is, no, let's do this here. Enter a number. Let's do only one thing here. Enter a number 3. Okay, let's do that. And what you should do is, if num1 is, in here what we could do is we could use either hyphen EQ or double EQ. That means equal to. If num1 is equal to num3, and then what you could do is then echo, what you could do is you gave correct answer. And to close the if statement, you have to type fi. You have to type if backwards. Okay? It's like quote. You start the quote here. This is the quote. This is the statement in between the quotes here. If num1 equals 3, then it will give you an answer. You gave a correct answer, okay? Or else it will fail here. So we'll just take a look here. I'm gonna save and exit, okay? And I'm gonna run if statement. Says enter 3. So I'm going to push 3 and hit enter, and it says you give correct answer. Okay, let's try to put a wrong answer in there. I'm going to put 2, and it didn't do anything. Okay, so that will bring us to else statement. If then else. So let me so you guys are getting the concept, right? If this is true, do this. If this is not true, do that. Okay, that's what we are telling it. So if statement echo enter number 3, read num1. If num1 equals 3, then so what you could do over here is instead of 3, what you could do is you could also I'm gonna put the asterisk here. You can also use minus EQ. Minus EQ stands for hyphen equal. That means it's checking the statement. Okay? You can also use EQ. Okay, so this is a little silly if statement here. So let me save this. So now it will bring us to the next part where you will see, okay, what if this is just too simple here? So then it will give us to if, then, and else statement, okay? So we get if, then, else statement. Okay, so I'm going to copy. Let's copy this here. So you go into if, then, and else statement here, okay? So it says this is a if statement. And let's modify and work on this. We'll see so let's see here how we're gonna do this. Enter a number 3. So let's work on this. Enter a number 3. If then, okay, when it's then, you do this here, okay? And what we're gonna do is, if it's an else statement, you just type else, then you type echo then you entered then you said if it's not 3, then you said you entered and $num 1 is not 3. Okay, so here is if, then else, and then you close this with if. Okay, so let's see here. So I'm going to run if then. So it says enter 3. I'm going to enter 4. I'm going to enter 4 here, and it says you entered 4 is not 3. What is it looking for? If you enter 3, then it says you enter 3. Okay, so let's a little bit modify on that one. So it says enter the number 3. Okay, then it says read, and if this is equal to 3, you can also use this and you give the correct answer. And then if you enter this here, you entered this is then you said you entered this number, you enter number 4 is not correct answer, is not correct. Okay, same thing. So if I run this again, it says 3, enter the number 3, type 3, 4 in there, and it says you entered 4 here. So important thing is the system is evaluating the statement here. Okay, so what is it doing? Okay, if this is true, then do this. If this is not true, then you do this here. Okay, that's all it. So now let me copy this and put it in here. Okay, so there is another concept is if, then, elif, and else statement. And let's see here. So this is just a if statement. If is only one statement. It's evaluating only one statement here. Over here, it's evaluating two statements. Okay, if and else. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna evaluate three statements. Okay, if, elif, and else. Okay, so let's do how that works. Let's do let's see here. This is a if, then slash if then statement. Okay. So we're going to copy this and let me let me just template. If then else, if then elif, else statement. Okay. So what we're gonna do is let me copy this. Okay. So I'm gonna put it in here is this is if then elif else statement. So what I'm going to do is echo. Now let's do enter a number between 1 and 5. Okay, and then we'll say echo so for visual purpose we'll just put this line in there and then it's a blank line echo. Then we'll take a statement at the command prompt here, read data. So we'll ask, we created a variable called data here, okay? So we'll read the data variable and then we'll evaluate this, okay? If, then we'll open the square bracket and we'll give a space. Remember, all this spacing is all important here, okay? If data equals 1, then echo you entered 1. ENTERED 1. Okay. Okay, so let's copy this. So in the second statement is we want to check number 2 here, right? So we go to number 2 if instead of using if, what we're gonna do is else if. Else if is elif is else if. Else if data equals 2, then you the prompt will be you entered 2 here. Okay, now I will show you. We could use, instead of double equal, we could use hyphen EQ and it will work. And then let's do the number 3, elif data is 3, then you entered 3. Okay, so let me give some space here. Alright, now I'm going to copy this again. I'm going to paste elif if data is 4 equal to 4, echo you entered 4. And the same thing for 5. you could do equal hyphen EQ. Okay, remember this, what I have showed you here, arithmetic expression or the evaluation. Don't lose this here. You will need this. You will need this. You will need all these things here. From here to here, all these things are now going to change. So make sure you keep this saved somewhere, okay? And you will need this, how you're going to use the expression later on. Okay, so we are doing so far, everything is good. What if the number is out of range? So what then you would use else. Else, okay, else is nothing but if it's not doing, just type echo, your entry is out of range. Okay, now it says, looks neat now. Enter a number between 1 and 5. I'm going to put in 3. It says, oh my god, I gotta go back there and check that. Okay, so this is how you're going to learn is,
Sir, I think you didn't close it with the phi in the end. Fi in the end.
In the end?
Oh, you did. Okay.
Yeah, so what line was it? All the lines. 11. If dollar data equals 1. Okay, yeah, the problem is I have to give an extra space here. Yeah, spacing in all this is very important in any kind of scripting or programming, okay? Alright, now it should work. Okay, it says enter a number between 1 and 5. So I'm going to type 2 and hit enter. It says you enter 2. Run it again, we'll say 1. Run it again, we'll say 3. All this is working so far. 4 and, whoops. And if we do 5, 5 is working too. Let's put in 6. And if you type in 6 and 6, entry is out of range. Okay, so what it's doing is doing what it's supposed to do. Okay, so it's very easy thing now is that if then else statement is working for you. It's pretty easy. I made it so easy you would never forget it. Okay, so keep this, everything I'm putting in here, keep this, all these things for rest of the life here. It will help you. Not with just scripting, with any programming, it's just the same concept here, okay? So let's see here. So I'm going to copy this here, the name of the okay. Alright, so I'm gonna pause for a minute here and ask any questions. Anybody has any questions? Alright guys, please speak up if you have any questions, so that way we could discuss that. So let's talk about the next next concept, it's called loop. Loop means you're looping through something. So I'm going to copy template and then I'm going to type loop.sh. Okay, the file name is so I'm going to do vi loop.sh. So we're going to say this is a loop. This is a loop statement. Okay, so let's do loop here. Echo. Let's see here. Okay, by the way, I had this main document here. I'm splitting it up. So you're working there, so you could have like a easy access instead of going through the course document. The document is split up here. And I think what else I did here is you go in here, for example. Oh, come on. So here I'm splitting this up into a smaller section here, and then also I'm putting this here so that you know what command is being used here and what directory and a config file, if any, and a package that will be used here. So that way you remember how these things works, okay? And the protocol. We learned only 3 or 4 protocols here, so that's all you need for now here, but there are thousands of other protocols, but you don't have to worry about too much here. So okay, so let's see here, bash loop. Okay, so I like this one here. So what happens here is I'll show you here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna loop through something here. So let me create a disk here, loop cd loop ls. So remember, I was with the strike of a key, I was able to make 100 files here, right? 100. So what it's doing here is this is a loop statement here. It's going in and creating a loop. So if I do like this, it will touch file, and then in the curly brackets it will go and do touch F1. That it will loop and go back in this here until it has done 100 here. Okay, so if you do ls, where is s? You see we got like 100 files here. How is it possible? It's doing the loop. Loop means it's repeating until it's telling to cancel it off. So we are telling it to repeat until between 1 and 100. So it's repeating 100. Okay, so based off of that, what we'll do is Let me just put this here. Example. You use this here at the command prompt, right? Now what we're gonna do is we'll use something called for loop. It's called for. So why is it called for? Okay, so we'll go in here. So I'll go loop.sh. Okay, so this is a for loop statement. So what we're gonna do is let's copy this here again. So instead of typing touch, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna say, okay, let me instead of this, I'm gonna say for f in, so we're gonna give a range in here, and then what we are telling is to we're gonna say for f in this, what do you want it to do? So you're gonna say do. You're gonna say do. Do means perform the action. Okay? Do. What is the action you want to do? You want to do touch $F. Okay? So what's going to happen is each time F is going to become 1, and then it will become $1. And then F will become 1, and it will become F will be 1, then F will become 2, F will become 3, F will become 4, all the way to 100. Okay, so what will happen is in this scenario, it will become the file name. And then you say done. So you open the statement with for, you do, and then you ask the command to touch or do whatever, and then it's going to do it for you. So we could type here echo. We'll come back and modify this here. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to run this. I'm going to copy this to loop folder. cp2 loop folder. And I'm going to go into loop folder. I do ls here. I'm going to delete all these files here. rm-rf f asterisk. So if I run this here, if I run this program, it will create a file which will be f 1 2 3 4 5. All it will be the files, just 1 2 3 4 5, nothing else. Okay. So if I do ls here, it will be file with the name 1 2 3 4 5 all the way to 1 to 100. There you go. Okay, so I'll give you 3 or 4 examples here for the loop examples. But let me go ahead and copy this here for loop. And okay, so I'm gonna say loop 2.sh, okay? So I'm gonna just copy loop shvi. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do this here a little bit, just 1 to 5 here, okay? 1 to 5. And then instead of doing this here, what I could do is for f in that, do echo this is number, and then what am I gonna do? What I'm gonna do here? I need to do something here. What do I do?
$F.
$F. Very good. $F. So each time it's gonna loop through, is gonna replace f with the number inside here. So I'm gonna say loop 2.sh. There you go. This is number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5. Okay, so what you could do with this is sky's the limit. I mean, build up on this here. Go crazy about this. Go online and find the concept here. I gave you the little concept here. All you have to do is just work off of that. Let's do one more thing here before we move on from loop. Is this is a for loop statement. I'm so sleepy. All right, so let me do one more thing here. Is okay, loop 3 dot sh. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy okay, this is what I'm going to do is, let's read all the files we have created so far using the loop statement. This is a for loop to read the files, okay? This is a for loop to read the files, okay? How we gonna do is so um, so we'll see. We have all these files here, right? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So many files here. We're gonna read through these files here using the loop. So how we're gonna do this is, let's go back in here, and in here, what I'm gonna do is declare a variable here. Okay, so I'm gonna say listing equals. Yeah, go ahead. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna run this as a command. What is this little code I'm using here? I mentioned this is not a code. What is this?
Backtick.
Yeah, backtick. Very good. So instead of using the read, I use something called in listing, or you could do input. Okay, and then what I could do is for f in, instead I'm going to replace this here to input. Okay, actually dollar input, dollar input. Do what do you want it to do? I want to read it. Cat f. So it's going to read the files here. So what will happen here is it will do ls, and after ls what it's going to do is each file. Okay, actually let me copy this here. So we have loop3.sh file here, right? So what it's going to do here is this command here, this is for loop to read the files in this folder. Okay, so what will happen here is this is the input we're gonna take from the command line. So if, okay, hold on, over here I think we use $1, 2, 3 or whatever, right? I think this is too advanced here. Let me do this here. Let's work on read. Should I do read or no? Let me just do this as a read here, okay? For for Okay, let me run this here and see what happens. Loop 3.sh. Okay. So what will happen is, the moment we run the command here, it will execute this. What will happen is, at the command prompt, it will have ls here. So all this will become a list. And then what will happen is, this command cat f, it will go and read this file, and after it's reading this file, it's going to read the next file. It's going to go into the loop. Okay, so why is it saying no such file? Loop 3.sh, right? Shoot, I should have done that. Loop 3.sh. Cat f, no such file, or
So it should be like cat dollar $f instead of just F.
yes, very good. Who's that?
Say
Yeah, you got it. Yeah, it's my mistake here. So cat $f. Okay. So if I do loop 3.sh, so what it did, it read through all the files here. It read through so many files. LSF and L. So how many files it got? It read through all these files here. It just flashed quickly, but it read through all the files here. So how do we know it read through all the files here? I'm gonna do slash loop 3.sh, and then I'm gonna give the output to a result. Okay, yeah. So let's go into VI results. So you go in here and see it read through all these files, and it's putting it into the another file here. Okay, so you could see what you could have done with a 3-line command. With a 3-line command, you have copied so many things in here. What is this? Well, anyway, you got the concept here. You get this, and you could use the for loop in here. Okay. let's see what is the good example for loop. So you could also do encrypt a script inside a script here, but let's just keep it here. I think you all got the concept here. Like you're using a for loop to create a bunch of files here and then read through the files. You know, I mean, it's just not that difficult, but practice it a couple times and you will get it, okay? So what it did was it read through this many files here. So I'm going to do ls here. So it read, this script read through these many files, okay? Uh, or there is a, you know what, before that let me show you one more thing here. So I'm gonna go cp template vi loop 4.sh, okay? This is a very okay, so this is simple loop, and what I'm gonna do here is we'll say here for x in 1 2 3 4 5, okay, and do echo this is line and then $x, okay? That's it. This is the most simplest form of example here, and that's it. Done. Then you end with done. You start, for loop is for with something, do and done. When you do and between do and done, you put a commands in there. You put a whatever commands you got. You could have hundreds of commands in here, okay? What you could do is also echo. Then what you could do is creating file $x. Okay, creating file $x, and then you give a command in here, touch backtick touch $x. Okay, does it make sense here? So what it's going to do is it's going to take so x is going to, for what it's going to take is going to take x and make it 1, and then over here it will say this is line 1, and then over here it says creating file 1, and then it will say touch $51. Okay, I think I'm missing a backtick here, so let me just put that backtick in here. Let's run this. We should have a 5 files in here. Okay, so loop4.sh. There you go. This is line 1 creating file 1. So if you do ls, we should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 files. There you go. Now, if you could create 5 files, you could create 5,000 files. It's unlimited. Okay, so all you have to do is just use this concept and build upon that. What else? Now let's take a look at the while loop concept. What is while loop? While it's doing something, okay? It's gonna do the loop. So I'm gonna say while loop, and cp template while.sh. Okay, this is a while loop. So let's see here. While loop is based on a counter. So I'll show you what it means here. Okay, so before so what you could do is, let's take a number from echo enter a number. Enter a number to count. Enter a number. Okay, let's just keep it that way. Okay, then what we're going to do is count equals 1. So what will happen is we'll open a while statement. it was, the previous one was for, the second one is while here. For, while, read, if, then, else, all these are reserved ones. If you try to use while you're doing this without quotes here, it will think it's a statement here. So be careful how you're using this, okay? While, I'll say dollar count is count is less than or equal to. So over here we're going to take the input read data. So here it says while count equals, we're going to do match here. Count is less than or equal to dollar data. Okay, do, what do you want it to do? Echo this is a Linux course, and then we'll say dollar count. Okay, so what is happening here? When we run the script, it will ask us to put the number in there, and then it will evaluate if the number in here, when you get this here, is if it's less than hyphen L is if it's less than the number we're gonna put. If it's less than that number, do, then it will as long as it's less than 1 here, it's gonna repeat that until it reaches 1. Okay, now here's the trick part. Then you're putting count here on the bottom also, and the count is becoming, so you have to give the backtick expr. You do dollar count plus 1. Why is it plus 1 here? You're declaring count here, and then down on the bottom it's becoming count 1 plus whatever that number is, 1 plus 1 2. It's each time dollar count here, it becomes count 1, and here it becomes that day here. So count, what is count here at this moment? What is count here? Over here the count is 1. Yeah, so by the time it comes down here, we are making count again 1 plus whatever that number would be plus 1. It will become 2. Then it goes up here again, and then the number will become 2 plus 1 will become 3. So we'll see here how it becomes. It's just conceptual here. There is no way around this. So I'm going to say while. So it's saying enter, telling me to enter a number. I'm going to enter number 10. So what will happen is, this is a Linux line 1 2 3. So let me copy this to the side here. Okay, so all right, let me explain you what is happening here. So what will happen here is enter a number here. Read means it will stop it for you. It will ask you for the data here. So data, it will be 10 here. So this data, it becomes 10 here. Okay, and now it's doing while. This is a game changer. When you type while here, it is built inside the scripting here. Okay, it will read, oh, this is while, because while is built in. You cannot use it anywhere else. So it's going to go while count is less than data. So we enter 10 here, right? And the count is less than, we started the count with 1. So 1 is less than 10. So as long as this is true, then run this command. And then we running this command again, count. So what is happening is it's not ending yet. So the count 1 over here, by the time it comes down here, count plus 1 is becoming 2. And then it becomes, the count becomes 2 here, and then it says, oh, 2 is less than 10, 3 is less than 10. It will go into the loop until 10 count becomes 11, then it will stop. Okay, so if we type 100, if we type only 1 here, then goes this course is Linux here. So it ran this command here, and then it's evaluating this second command here. What is this? It's evaluating the second command here. 1 plus 1 is 2. When it becomes 2 is more than data 1 here, is going to stop. Okay, so let me run this again. And if this is 100, boom, it's going to run for 100 times. And let me run this again. If I run this for 1000, it's going to run this for 1000 lines. Do you see? A little silly script, it's doing a lot of damage here. So you got to be careful how you're going to use this loop and all this here. Once you started to build up on this, you will get the concept here. So my advice to you is, keep repeating and keep playing around and keep fooling around with the script here. All these scripts you could put into one script and make a big script here, okay? So you just have to realize how you are using this here, okay? So once after the scripting is done, we'll go through each course or each topic and see how we could automate this. So all this thing, so right here, if you want to, in here, what you could do is you could connect to a computer, and then you could put in the command here. What do you want to do the command here? So you could tell the command to shut down here. So let's see here. Close the door. Okay, so what you could do here is the command says enter a number. Okay, so we'll hold off on this here. I'll show you how to read a file later on and then make it a data, and that the file will become the list of servers, and that at that time what we'll do is we'll execute a command that will tell the servers to get some ping them or do something like that. Okay, we have already done that, but we could use a while loop command here. We'll come back to that again. Okay, so now we have learned a lot today. We learned the if statement, else statement, if then else statement. A lot is going on here. So what is the today's date is 7/11/2020. Okay, let's do next one here. We'll do the case. What is case? It's a case. It will match the case. If you present information, it will match it up for you. Okay, so but you could use it any way you want. So it's called case statement. Okay, and let's take a look here. What this? What the heck is this case? So I'm going to do copy case statement dot sh. Okay, so I'm going to say this is a case statement. So what I'm going to show you is this is a built-in option here. So what will happen is actually these are the options. This will be the options that will presented, and based on that you could run the command here. So actually this is going to be really good for you for daily administration process. So I'm going to say echo so I'm going to say here main menu, and I'm going to say echo here, and I say echo now what I'm doing is I'm listing the choices here. Okay, choice 1 is ls echo and let me go just copy this here. So I have 5 choices here, right? Choice 1, choice 2, choice 3. Choice 2 is I'm gonna say df-h, and choice 3 is lsblk. Choice 4 is I'm gonna say memory. I want to see memory information, free-h, and the last one I want to see is what is my let's do blk id. Yeah, blk id. Okay, so this is just a echo command, silly options here. Okay, and I'm gonna give a space here, read. Now I'm gonna say read, I'm gonna say option. Okay, so it's gonna stop at the command prompt, and it says it's waiting for your input, read option. So here we're gonna say case. This is a built-in. Okay, case dollar option in okay, so what is so the moment you press 1 here, so the option for case statement is you have to type 1 and semicolon and close parenthesis. Okay, and then you could tell the command here. You're telling the command echo. What is the command you want to run? You don't have to say echo here. You could run the command ls, and then after that you have to close this with two semicolons. Two. Number two is df-h. Okay, yeah.
Sir, you have used bracket with 1 and not with 2. Okay.
Thank you. Yeah, parenthesis. Bracket is the curly one. And then what is this one here? LSBLK. Three, then four. What is four is a free hyphen h. And five. What is number five is BLK ID. Okay, and the last one is going to be asterisk. If you want to end this, it cannot go forever, right? You want to end this. So in here you could type in echo your selection is invalid, okay? And then end this case statement with ESAC backwards. So end of case statement. Okay, and here. Okay, and I'm gonna say start of case statement. Okay, so the case statement, the one above here is just this silly option here. You may or may not have this, but it's just for the user to see visually. So let's run this command here. Okay, there you go. You have choice 1, 2, 3, 4. All you have to do is put the number here. So I'm going to say ls and hit enter as the command not found. Why is it saying that? Here is so I think I have Let me see if this works here, okay? Number one, statement this form. So, oh, okay. I don't have to put backtick here. That's what the problem is. Okay, let me just run this here and see what happens. Okay, so it's working. Okay, all right, let me quit this and run this here. I'm gonna run the command choice number 3 here. Okay, my favorite. There you go. It ran the command lsblk. Okay, now you could see how you could build up on this stuff. df-h, and what you want to do is you want to check the memory free. There you go. Yeah, go ahead.
Sir, I wanted to ask whenever we write case statement, so we always have to give, like when we are giving one option one, so we have to give a tab and then enter, and then the next command has to is it like, or this indentation is not necessary?
Yeah, I think it's necessary. Yeah, let's try without one. Let's try. Let's try without it. I don't think it's necessary here, but we'll see if it's gonna be any visually appealing. Okay, so it says choice 1. Yeah, you're right. It doesn't have to. And let's see, choice 5. It doesn't have to. Well, let's see how this is working. Yeah, as long as you have this here. So the important concept is you have to put the number and the closing parenthesis. So it will take this as all this as a numbers. By the way, there is no connection between here and here, okay? Don't think this is important here. This is no connection here. Right? Do you agree? There's no connection between what you see here and what is happening here. This is just for humans to visually know what is in the script. Right? You agree with that, right? This is just the display. Echo, it could be garbage too, but that doesn't mean anything. What is happening here is this part here. Read option, and then this could be anything. This is a placeholder. I told you it's a variable. And then it's matching the case here. So case is usually associated with the numbers here, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then let's see if you could add an alphabet here. Alphabet here is D. And what is the concept to delete, right? No, don't do that. D is display. So let's type for D also, you type LSBLK. Yeah, D is okay, and then syntax error. Okay, so you have to have two semicolons. I think you could have a space here too. Okay, so case is what it's doing is it's matching. It's matching the numbers and all that okay? And you could have a lot of numbers and alphabets in there. If you don't put anything in there, it will tell you your selection is invalid. Yeah, go ahead.
Sir, what we did with this case statement, we could have also done this with the if statement, isn't it?
You could do if statement is
like if we press 1, then the else statement could do ls or like this. So I just wanted to know, like, is there any special significance of case statements to be used?
Case statement is good when you are creating a menu like this, and usually it's good for when you create one and give it to other people to use it. Okay, so look here, you just put 1 and then it just these are options here, right? If statement is, what is if statement? If statements is a little bit different concept here, but you could go around, and if a statement is evaluating the statement here. So if you put data as 1 and it's evaluating if it's 1 or not.
Okay, sir. Okay.
You could definitely put commands in here. You could put like between them and elif, you could put hundreds of commands in there to do this, do this, do this, do this, do this, okay? Very good. I like how you're thinking here, man. I'm very confident that you won't have problem landing a job. Okay, do exactly what I'm telling you, and then you will definitely get this, and it's going to be a high salary job here. I mean, what I'm teaching you here is, I'm not preparing you to get like a $10 or $15 job. I'm preparing you to get a job that will pay you at least $50 an hour. Okay, that's what I'm preparing you for. And if you're serious about it, take my word seriously. If not, then it's up to you. So I'm gonna copy this, and you see how all these things is conceptual. Okay, for majority of the population to understand all this concept, they have to sit there and spend a lot of time there, or you could take my course, because any book, anything you take is like they don't go into how things are actually starting off, you know. If you know how something is happening, then it is. For example, I told you, while if somebody else is teaching you, they won't tell you like while is like a built-in. While is built-in reserve word. Okay, so for you to understand that, it will take a while for you to understand this is built-in. Echo is built-in. Then at the same time, running this command here, when you run this command at the start of the line, there is nothing before and after this. That means you could run the command here. But if you have something before and after the line, then you have to, what do you have to do? You have to put in backtick. Okay, that way then it will execute the command. All these things are nothing here. I mean, we just put this here, but let's see here. You're just creating a shell around the command here. For the system, all these things are meaningless. This is meaningless, this is meaningless. What is meaningful for the system is this, just this part, ls, dffnh, lsblk, and free -h. All these are meaningful for the system because you're typing it here. If you type it in here, or you tell the file to type it in for you, when it's executing, is going to give the same result, right? What is number 4? Well, for execute number 4, there you go. What is the difference here in the command? Nothing. It's the same exact output. So what you have to do is you're just manipulating how you're using it. Okay, alright, so I'm gonna stop here. Tomorrow we'll continue on with this here. I think we came along only 50% so far, the scripting part. And when did we start this here? On 28. So yeah, I did tell you the scripting will take 1 month almost. So we started 1. So 1, 2, 3. So here, right? 1, 2, 3. Yep. By the time we are fully complete with scripting, it will be this day here, 26th. So we'll cover tomorrow, and then we'll cover 18 and 19, and then 25th, Ansible and all that here. And after that, we still have August, September, October. So end of September we'll end of September here. So we have 2 full, almost 3 months here. So whatever I'm showing you, just follow blindly and then work with me, and then hopefully you will be successful. Okay. All right. Anybody have any questions? Put it in the chat, and then we'll catch up tomorrow. Let me stop recording.